Good morning, children. So, in the before class, I started the lesson reproduction, the generating system. In the last class, I explained about the traditional methods of artificial propagation. Traditional methods of artificial propagation. What are the traditional methods? Already I explained cutting, layering and grafting. Cutting, layering and grafting. These are known as traditional methods of artificial propagation. Artificial propagation. There is another new technology, a new method which is known as tissue culture. Tissue culture is also an artificial propagation. Here, what we will do means by taking the tissue or a group of cells, we can produce nearly thousands of plants at a small interval, in a small interval. So, taking a tissue or a group of cells, and we can produce nearly thousands of plants in a small area in a short period on an artificial medium, which is called agar. In the agar we can grow these new cells. From the new cell we can produce a new plant. This cell from where we are taking? We are taking from the parent plant. So this tissue culture, first it was explained by G. Haberland. G. Haberland is the first person to explain about the tissue culture. This is the technology at present day. By using this, we are producing a large group of plants in a short period. In a less space, we are able to produce. So these are the different methods through which we can produce a new plants by using artificial propagation. Now come to this next topic is spore formation. Next topic is about the spore formation. These spores are nothing but called as reproductive spores. These reproductive spores are produced by especially fungi. So when you come to the spores, here we have seen only vegetative parts we have collected and we kept in the soil, we get a new plant. But here, if you see some plants, if you take the fungus, example rhizopus, which is growing on the bread. This rhizopus will have small spores in its body from where you will get a new plant. If you take the fern plants, in the fern, decorative plants, in those plants also we can find the spores. So certain plants, they will reproduce by forming the spores. These spores, when they fall on the ground, once again they produce a new organism. Really, if you want to see the spores and how the rhizopus will produce a new organism, we can do the small experiment and we can see the spores in the rhizopus and mucor. They will reproduce by the spores. Spores are nothing but microscopic reproductive structures. Microscopic reproductive units are called nothing but spores. And these spores, they are produced in the sporangium. These spores are produced in a case called sporangium. A spore case is called sporangium. Best example for the spore production organisms are nothing but the fungi. Among that, rhizopus and mucor. So some of the bacteria are non-flowering plants also. Non-flowering plants also will reproduce by this spore formation. For this, best example for the non-flowering plants is ferns and mosses. Now, if you want to see really the spores, how they will be, we can observe the spores by using the microscope. For observing the spores, what experiment we can do? A lab activity. What is that lab activity? This lab activity is very, very important from this lesson. So what are the materials required for doing this lab activity? Before entering into the materials required, first of all, what you have to do means you have to take the bread slices. Take 2 or 3 bread slices. Just you sprinkle some water. Take a cover, a sealed cover. Just open the seal. Keep the bread pieces in the cover and close the cover. After 4 or 5 days, if you open the seal and if you observe on the bread, you can find the gray and black color substance. A gray and black color substance. This gray and black color substance observe, and once again, just if it is dry, just you sprinkle the water. And close the cover. Just after 10 days, or otherwise after 1 week, just you take the bread slices out. When you take the bread slices out, just if you touch the gray color part or a black color part, you can find the black structure sticking to your fingers. Now, what you have to do means take the materials required for doing the experiment. This is the process for the formation, for the growth of the spores. That is for the growth of the rhizopus. Now your rhizopus is ready in your hand. Now what do you have to do for doing the experiment? What are the things are required? A mold sample, water, glass slide, cover slip, disposal gloves. Now what you have to do means first you take a glass slide. So first take a glass slide. Now take one needle and slowly scrap the grey colored matter which is present on the bread piece and keep it on the glass slide. Just you place it on the glass slide with the help of the needle. Then what you have to do? Add a drop of water, add a drop of glycerin. Okay. Then slowly cover with the cover slip. Cover the specimen with the cover slip. Now take a blotting paper. Whatever the excess water is there or whatever the excess glycerin is there on the glass slide, just with the blotting paper remove the excess water. While before doing the experiment, definitely you have to wear the gloves. Disposal gloves. Then only we have to conduct the experiment. Now keep it under the microscope and observe the rhizopus. When you observe the rhizopus under the microscope, you can see the structure like this with many heads and thread-like structures. This is called rhizopus. If you observe under the microscope, you can see the rhizopus like this. A small head-like region and a thread-like structure. In this head-like structure is called sporangium. That is nothing but the spore case. This is called sporangium. And the thread-like structure which is attached to the bread, this is called hyphae. So if you take a needle and if you break the sporangium, you can find the small pores once again falling on the glass slide. These are nothing but the spores. When you break the sporangium, all the spores will be released onto the ground. So this is the experiment to see the spores in the sporangium. This is called hyphae. When the sporangium is ruptured, automatically all the spores will be out. Once again, the spores will give rise to a new rhizopus. This is the lab activity which we can conduct in the class to see the spores. Okay. Now, next one, come to the sporophyll. Next one is the sporophyll. Sporophyll means nothing but a fern plant. These are nothing but non-flowering plants. These plants especially we will be using as a decorative plants. We will use in the offices and schools. These plants are green in color and these fern plants, they cannot produce any flower. But on the leaves, you can find the sporangia. We can find the sporangia. Around globular structures at the back of the leaf, you can find the sporangia. Take one needle and rupture the sporangia. We can find the spores out from the sporophyll. The fern leaf is called sporophyll. When this sporophyll is on the sporophyll, we can find at the back part of the leaf sporangia. This sporangia, when it is ruptured, you can see the spores coming out from the sporangia. So this is these non-flowering plants, bacteria, some of the bacteria and fungus like rhizopus and mucor, they will reproduce by producing the spores. So these are the different types of different ways through which we can get a new plant in the fungus, or otherwise from the vegetative parts we can produce a new organism. So up to here is about the plants. Okay, reproduction, how it will take place in the non-flowering plants, and as well as traditional methods of propagation we can see. Okay, ma? So once again, just take your book and you do one thing. Once you draw this structure, that is the fungus. This is the fungus. So tomorrow I am going to explain about the reproduction in a human being. What are the reproductive organs, how they will work, and what is fertilization. As you know that we are all a highly developed organism. We are having the separate reproductive system. So I am going to explain about the reproductive system in the next class. Be ready with your pencil and the eraser and take the book, because you are going to get the diagrams. Okay, once you read this lesson and you note down all the important points and underline the important words. Okay, thank you.